Hello guys, it's Jose here again, and I got another Husqvarna chainsaw review. I figured why not make two in one day, because why not? So up on the tabletop now I got the Husqvarna 372, and I have a pre-X-Torque model and a X-Torque model. So the one that we run now, just because I haven't purchased a bar for this one yet because they just the bar was bad, so I have to order another one from Tree Stuff, but right now we're running the pre-X-Torque model. These saws, the X-Torque model I know is 70.7 cc's, it's 14.6 pounds, and it makes like 5.5 horsepower. I'm not sure about the older one. I wasn't able to look at the spec sheet on the internet. However, I'm going to set this one down on the ground right now, and we can at least take a look at this one now. The primary difference between both of these saws is the X-Torque model is better for the environment, basically. To put it simply, what it does, instead of using a charge of air that is a mixture of gas and fresh air, it uses just fresh air to push the exhaust gases out, so it's better for the environment. And with all the new EPA regulations, you know, the saws have to be better for the environment, even if it makes them a little bit more complicated. But I guess whatever you got to do for the environment, that's what we're here for, to sustain the trees. But this saw right here, you can see it's got a decompression valve on the side. That one has it on the top on an angle. Just like many of the other Husqvarna chainsaws, or all of them. In fact, I think right now it's running the spring AV system. You can see here, this one, unlike the 562 that I had reviewed earlier, these ones have, all the 372s have levers that you pull out right here. That's full choke, push it back in, that's half choke, and then hit the throttle, and that's your normal run setting. And then right here's the on and off switch. Very simple. You can reach it with your thumb. I actually like this design a lot. More than the steel, per se, just because I don't like having to push up to shut off the saw. That's just operator preference again, though. Like I said, right here's your decompression valve, so when you start it, ease of starting, you can hear it here. And then when you do it like this, you can see it's a little bit more difficult. This has Husqvarna's. None of these saws have been redesigned because, like in the numbers it says here, this is a 3 series, so all these have the standard fuel caps, which, like I said in my last video, why over-engineer. One of the 562s that I have has the quick flip caps, and they're nice. Same thing, normal threads, just flip on and off. This saw has a felt air filter underneath here. It comes off very simply. You just unscrew it here. You don't even need your scrunch. You can use it. It has, you know, a spot to use it, but you don't really need it. These are really nice air filters just because they're pleated like this, which gives it more surface area. This one needs to be cleaned out, but they're really nice. I like these air filters a lot, actually. The only thing I don't like about some of the Husqvarna saws, like the 562 and the T540 for some reason, and it's not only Husqvarna saws, it's a lot of chainsaws. The 395 seems to be a little bit better, but you get a little bit of crud in the air inlet before the carburetor, and I think it's just because they don't use rubber sealing, but I know the 572 that's coming out, they did fix that, and that is using a rubber gasket to seal it. So I think that's a much better design. Again, you can see the spark plug here, and then all of the Husqvarna saws use air injection, which if you're unfamiliar with that, as well as the 562s, the flywheel spinning they use the fins to kick up fresh air, and then they have a separator on the inside, which is just a piece of plastic, so all the heavy debris will shoot out, and then all of the fresher air gets shot, and cleaner air gets shot to the air filter. So that's very nice. I know steel, some of their newer saws are incorporating that, but I know the Husqvarnas are known for having better, you know, cleaner air filters than the steels are. You can see here that this saw has dogs on both sides, which again, that's nice for when you're bucking on the ground, just because it allows you to get a better bite in the log when you're running the saw, so you can do a little bit more aggressive cut. This one has the roller style chain catch like many of their bigger saws have. This saw also, like my 562s, is running a 24-inch or 3/8 pitch 050 gauge chain, and it's round ground chisel, so it's nice. It's full chisel. The saw's cut great with it, and you can see here these saws. This one also has a 2-post chain brake. Now this saw is different than the 562 in that it has a Inboard Clutch, which if you're unfamiliar with that is, and if you didn't see my last video of the 562, you should, that saw has an outboard clutch, but you can see here, I'll show you, just like all their other saws, side chain tensioner, but you can see here that you don't see the clutch on the outside, it's on the other side of the rim sprocket behind this here. And that's nice in that this saw, if you need to take it apart in the field, and that's something that the loggers like, you know, us guys doing, you know, urban forestry, you know, cutting down trees in the city, it's not as big of a deal just because we have, you know, we can stop our work and work off to the side so we won't lose parts. But all you have to do to take this apart is you take off this C-clip here, and then you can change out your you know, your rim, and then you can get inside to your bearing and your clutch and everything like that. And it's easier to work on than per se a saw that has the outboard clutch. And even though this saw has an inboard clutch, I know some guys say that the inboard clutch saws are a little bit less balanced, and when you rev them up you can feel it, but I really don't notice that much on these saws. These saws are really smooth and they rev really high. And the saws, I mean, like through softwood, they eat no problem. Hardwood too, the saws just eat. But again, that's operator preference, and then, you know, the whole steel and Husqvarna debate, I'm not brand partial, but I am looking forward to Husqvarna's release of the 572xp because that's supposed to be a great saw, and I definitely want to get one when they come out so I can just do a comparison video between this and the new saw to see what they've redesigned. I know that saw, unlike this one has your normal carburetor adjustments here. You can see your low and high right here, and then your idle speed. But I know that saw is going to have auto tune. It's going to feature many of the benefits that the 562xp has. But we'll wait and see, because I know when the 562s dropped, it was a little finicky. Some of them, I got lucky, and both of mine have ran spotless. And one of them, like I said, I've switched out the motor, and just because one had blew up from being ran for so long, the saw was, you know, used day in and day out. But we used to only run these saws, and now we switched over to running 562xps for limbing and saving these for more bucking wood. And I know you'll say that the saws have the same size bar, so you're not really bucking anything bigger with this, but these saws, I mean, we just use these in our wood yard and stuff like that. These saws have a lot of power, and they're great for cutting wood, and those ones are a little bit lighter, so it's better on the guys when they're limbing. I've climbed with both saws, taking down larger trees, and I definitely think this saw cuts a little bit faster, but that saw's lighter, so it's nicer to just have hanging on your saddle, you know, so you don't have to worry about it. Like I said, though, with the 572 coming out, I'd like to see one and try one when they come out. I know they're coming out next year, but, you know, we can't wait for the new chainsaws to drop. We're excited. But either way, if you guys have any questions about this saw or any of the other saws that I've reviewed, leave a comment, and I'll answer any of your guys' questions that you have. Thank you very much, and have a great day.